Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kaz Has. My name is Kazvon, and today we're going to be checking out a game called The Room. Spoiler alert, this is a puzzle game. So anything I show you in this will probably spoil some puzzles. And in case you just want to know and just want to not be spoiled by anything, this game's pretty great. It's real good. So let's just go. I'm going to reset, and I'm going to limit myself to just the beginning of the game. Mostly because I don't want to show up later stuff, but also because I practiced the first part. So hopefully I'll be able to actually show you something, because this game originally came out for iPad, I think almost a year ago, maybe longer. And I think there was a sequel as well, but it finally came out on PC. The controls do kind of have the legacy of being from an iPad, but it's not that bad. So here's the tutorial. You have to, when you double click on something, you zoom into it. You gotta slide the letter out. Tells us something about it. The stakes are higher than you could possibly imagine. There's a backstory that's kind of interesting, but not really vital. So we got a small brass key with an animal motif. So the whole point of this game is that there's these objects, kind of these like lock boxes, and you're trying to find yourself into them. So this one's real simple. You just kind of spin the top, line up the keyhole, grab the key, pop it in. You gotta turn it. And you gotta flip open the lid and grab your eyepiece. Boom. The eyepiece is very important. It allows you to basically see things. Like, okay, so most of the puzzles in the game are pretty, like, I guess, realistic. Maybe mechanically you couldn't actually build these boxes, but they try and make it rooted so you could believe it. But the eyepiece adds kind of a weird element where you can see things that aren't there, maybe like invisible ink kind of thing. But also you can see through objects, interact with objects in different ways, and it kind of just opens up the puzzle possibilities. So that's a contrivance that I'm totally willing to buy into. So here's our first clue. Feed me and I shall survive, give me drink and I shall die. A riddle! The solution must be here somewhere. So we gotta zoom out, and we gotta get into the safe. So let's take a look around. The first thing you do in this game is you want to find anything that's kind of out of the ordinary. So the first thing I notice is this. If you grab it and drag it, we find a keyhole. But we don't have a key. We have to find a key. So let's keep looking. Alright. Here's something else. Another keyhole. But we need a key. So what do you feed? Let's see here. Well, there's water. Don't think that's the answer. This is the tutorial, so I'll actually give you hints. Spoilers, the answer is fire. So there's fire. Firewood feeds it and water puts it out. I should give it a push. You give it a push. Boom. Opens up the leg of the thing. Gives you the key. Now the key is kind of weird, and a lot of objects are kind of strange. Where you can actually interact with them individually, independently from the actual main puzzle thing. So it wants me to click it. And you can actually interact with it and change how the key is shaped. So this one key will open both of these keyholes. So we got to figure out how to get that. This one's really simple. You actually get, later on, they actually have keys like this that are multiple stages, so there's more pieces to spin around and match up. Makes it a little bit harder. So let's get in here and key this, and that'll pop open this little lock thingy, which will give us a wrench. So now you have a tiny wrench. And the wrench is used back here on this little engraving. You'll see this kind of sticks out. You just gotta use the wrench. Pop that open. And grab the lens. The lens is what goes into my eyepiece. So now when I use my eyepiece, I see all the crazy markings like fingerprints and paintings, and this symbol is kind of used throughout the game. It's something you pretty much have to memorize because it's used in a lot of puzzles. So let's continue. What we have to do is get our key into this hole, so we're gonna go ahead and change our key around. I believe that's the right one. And before you use an object or anything, you gotta zoom in on it. You can't just be on the way out far away, otherwise the game gets confused as to what you're trying to do. So here's yet another puzzle. You can spin these, but it won't let me because it's tutorializing. It doesn't want me to screw up too bad, so I gotta use my eyepiece. So here we go. I can see all the markings. I can move all of them except the middle. So we want to line up the middle pieces first. So that looks good. And that looks good. And who? Is that it? Or is that it? That's it. That should open the safe. And it's really cool, I can actually grab it and swing it open in triumph. And that brings us to our next chapter. And our next chapter is this box inside of the box. And it kind of continues that way. Once we open this box, there's another box, which is another level. And then another box, which is another level. And it kind of keeps going. It's a little Russian doll kind of situation here. So I'm going to do some of the puzzle on this. I'm not going to solve this whole thing because it actually takes a long time. There's a lot to do on this one puzzle. So there's 3 seals, so there's 3 stages to this. So what was the first hint I gave you? You got to look around the box and just kind of get your bearings. That symbol helps us out a lot. There's this thing here where we can switch what symbols are lined up. You can just guess it and unlock that bit, but it'll take a long time. So you can find these symbols. That's the correct one. It actually lets me know there. I think there's another one around somewhere. There's one up here. So we got the circly, roundy one in the upper left. So let's get that. Circly, roundy one. And then from here you can just brute force it if you want. Switch that, go through all of them. Switch that, go through all of them. Switch that, go through all of them. And there we go. We get the key. You can find the other 2 symbols around the box, but I always just found myself just brute forcing it because you can. You can solve this in a couple different ways. Also, if you're zoomed in on this, you can see there's a little seam here. So let's try and get in on that. Pop that open, and there's a book. We found an ancient leather-bound book inside of the leg of this box, which is weird. That means that goes really deep in there. It doesn't render it, but... And there, it gives us another symbol. There's one more symbol hiding somewhere. Let's open the book. Look, the book has a puzzle on it. It just keeps going deeper and deeper. So what we want to do is we have to move these around to allow this to move that way, and this to unclamp the book. And that'll give us a little winding key, as well as some story. I don't actually... Oh, I do remember where the winding key goes, but we can't get there yet. So what else looks weird on this box here? If you notice the legs, there's squares on a majority of them. But there's round ones, too. We got a wick. And there's one more round one, with it, which this is more obvious. See, you gotta kind of drag. So how this works is, on the iPad, is you would just rub your finger across this, but here you gotta kind of click and drag, which is okay. It's kind of a good, it's a conceit I'm willing to take. It's fine. The game is great, and it's worth just doing that. There's maybe a couple parts where the game was originally intended for you to tilt the iPad around to use, but it's fine just clicking and dragging like this. That's how they get around that. There's another puzzle here too. Oh yes, this. So you'll see in the light, this is kind of shimmering and shiny. That's kind of a hint to use your eyepiece. And in here, you can look a little closer, and on the sides of the box, there's a 5 on the left and a 7 on the right. So we'll take off our eyepiece. 5 on the left, 7 on the right. Put our eyepiece back on, and now with these, we gotta see what numbers we can create with these symbols that are floating here. So let's see. I think I can't make a 6. I can't make that. That kinda works. Maybe. Aha. We found a 2. So the answer to this is 2. Get our eyepiece back on and look beneath. And, like, I actually don't remember. Oh, look, and there's another symbol in there. That's the last symbol you need to actually open and get the other key. But we've already gotten it through brute force methodology. Oh, and there it is. There's our 6. 6. So now we have a switch. We can flip that, and this door will open. And this is kind of a projector kind of mechanism. If you zoom out on it, you can actually see there's another side here. You really, really have to look around to every single little piece. So here, we'll wind this up. So now it's good to go. And that contraption's rolling. And now what we want to do is get our little telescope that we found. We actually have to open it, if I remember how to do that. Let's see. There we go. Get it to telescope on out there. Gotta zoom in. Oh, maybe it'll work here. Yeah, so we got that in there. Now we got to get our wick in here. And we will use the little striker and light it. And then this little lever will come out and let us raise it on up into the projector. So now, we can actually look into the eyepiece. And we see this creepy, creepy, creepy movie with the man's face scratched out. And he's kind of just staring at this box. But he gets the feeling that there's more to that than what we saw. So we'll use our eyepiece and look back into it. And there he is, being all creepy with the box spinning. Trial. Makes it really obvious. Kind of points it out to you. Trial is very important. So, trial? And after you do that, this will pop open, which is yet another spinny doodad puzzle. So, let's see if we can figure this out. I believe... I remember this being real easy the first time, but let's see if I can actually get this going here. Aha, that goes there. And that goes there. That goes there. That should be right. Maybe I'm off on one. Or on multiple. No, that looks okay. Let's see. They will line up pretty good. Like, it's one of those things where it's a little bit off. But once you see it, you'll be like, oh, of course it goes that way, not the other way. No, that's not working. One thing I didn't try was, that makes things a lot easier. This looks like a demon. There we go. That makes it way easier than just, like, trying to get it, like, basically just doing it randomly. So here we go, we've got the L. We gotta remember that the actual movie told us the word trial. So there's, if you look around the box, you'll find this, which allows us to add the letter and put in trial. T-R-I, this has to be A. This has to be R. This has to be T. Like, a lot of these things you can brute force, but you'll be spending a lot of time, and it's just easier just to figure out the puzzle. So there, we've broken the first seal. Let's do a little bit more. Let's see, what else can we do? Oh yes, once you get that, it'll pop out this bit. And this bit's kind of crazy. We gotta get up top. Oh, there's also little notes everywhere, which is also a little bit more of the lore. There, once again, the symbol. McAllister returns with the rubbings from Egypt. Blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of story there. It's actually not that bad. I'm not gonna read it, though. Let's get to the top of this. They do give you a hint that says... Here we go. You gotta open this. They said that kind of looks like a writing desk, which, you know, that's how they open back in the day. So how does this work? You gotta... How the original would work is you tilt the iPad, try and get this to line up here. But here we gotta kind of move the whole screen. You have to move the screen to make the gems go horizontal, and they'll lock in place. Let's see if I can get the red one and the green. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. You know you wanna. You know you wanna. Just get over there. Just get over there. Oh, almost. There we go. So we got all those, and this side will pop open. And once again, that symbol. They really want to drive it into your head. And we put our eyepiece on because it's shimmering. And here's one of the 3D-ified puzzles, just kind of like the other one, the number one, where we have to recreate that symbol again. This one's really easy. There's another one later that's a lot harder. They start using like different kinds of symbols and stuff. So finally we get the user key. We'll turn it. It fits right in there. This little guy opens. Slides on out. And we get a cabinet key. The cabinet key is for this hole right here. They very rarely make you like pop all around the box to do like certain things. Like all these little puzzles happened like right here in this part of the box. I think later there are ones where they're like, oh no, look all over the box to find something else. But they try and keep it, see, we gotta reuse that. That's why it's slid open. They try and keep it centralized so you don't get too confused. So here is the star. I believe the star just goes here. And that pops open all these cool little cabinet drawers. And we got a little guy who's bronzed, little dude with a sword. We found the brass ring. It was actually sitting over here and I accidentally clicked it. And there's another symbol. That was always on the outside though. And there's this thing that we have to use later. So I'm going to show you how to do this last little bit here. So let's grab the ring, pop it on here. And now we got to crack the safe. They give you hints, 1 and 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then this one, I didn't figure out how to do. I just straight up brute forced it. I believe it's 20 something. Not entirely. Oh yeah, 25. And here's another key. See, all these things are pretty much stuck to like one little area. Like even that brass ring was just right up above. So now we got to figure out how to pop this open. And we do that by playing around with this key. This key has the 2 parts. And I don't remember the shape. Is that it? No, that's not it. Let me look at it again. It's kind of a snaky and then down. Okay, snaky down. This is backwards. Snaky down. Oh, I gotta zoom in. I'm an idiot. Boom. Oh, come on. It's up and across and then snaky down. Up and across. Oh, see, well, I failed the first time, so it gave me this little overlay for them to be pretty nice to me. I don't know if that's something you can disable. I kind of hope it was, but I don't know. Oh, man. Oh, I had it completely backwards. That's why. Okay. I was just being dumb all around. So we pop this open. And we get another little thingy. Circular plate with a star emblem. And this guy, is just gonna hang out here, I guess. So where does this go? I actually don't remember. And you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. This is a pretty cool game, guys. It's on Steam. It's called The Room. It is $4.99, and I think it's worth every penny. It's pretty fun. It's also pretty long. There's quite a few boxes you have to go through to get to the end. Figuring out this whole thing the first time, just this box, probably took me around 30, maybe 40 minutes. If you don't know what to do, it actually takes a lot longer. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. It helps out a whole heck of a lot. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.